Rodriguez and LaBonta. Anyone on the Zoom, please use the raise your hand function and we'll make sure to unmute you so you can ask your question. But we'll start with questions in the room. Go ahead.
This is for Izzy. Hi, I'm Katie with
Hello.
Spectrum News. Welcome back to Columbus.
Thank you.
OH.
I-O.
Just talk about your excitement being back here in Ohio, in Columbus specifically. Obviously, you spent lots of great years down the road. And excitement for Columbus bringing an NWSL team here.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I think when we landed yesterday, I was very excited to go to Graders and get some ice cream. So already made that trip, and on the drive, kind of gave everyone a tour of everything, which was really nice. Feel really proud to come from a place like this and to have a team here. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement. Great fans coming to our games in college, and I think it'll only grow from there.
Will you have a fan section at the game?
I have a few people coming, and I think the whole women's soccer team is going to be there as well. So great support.
Kind of jumping off that, can you talk about just the talent in soccer that you saw here when you were playing at Ohio State, and just how bringing a team here can just only make that grow?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a really competitive environment here, and we had players like Emma Sears, Nichelle Prince, a couple new rookies that I didn't get to play with but are now in the league as well, and I think that's just going to grow the excitement. Having a team you could go to college for and then play for is going to be really exciting, and I think that's just going to grow the competitiveness and everything in college. It's a sports town in general, so I think people get hyper on their sports here.
Hi, Leslie Ryder, Spectrum Media. Just wanted to ask about the matchup that we have tomorrow. You're getting a chance at the Gotham team that eliminated you in the playoffs last season. Is there a sense of vengeance in the air?
Yes, I mean, I think we have a very competitive table up here right now, and especially our team. I think it even started with, like, why did Gotham go before us today? Technically, they're the home team and we're the visitors, so we're already, looking for these little things. But that's just our team. I know it's a cup game, it's out of season, but we want to win this. We beat them earlier in the year, and that felt good. But this, it kind of brings it back a little more to the playoffs. So absolutely, we want to get that win.
Candace Allen, Girls Only Sports. Going off of that question and the couple ones before, how is momentum going to play into a matchup like this? Like she said, it can be very competitive against Gotham. But you'll have dueling Ohio wins on both teams. So how much are you expecting to take from the crowd, seeing that you're playing this game on a neutral site?
Yeah, I know Izzy said she has a lot of fans coming, or friends and family. I also as well. I think all of Section 116, they told me, are going to be our fans because my husband went to Ohio State for not as long as you. I think like a couple months. But so we hope to bring that for us for sure. And, the last two times we've lined up against Gotham, the momentum has shifted because of halves, because of the wind. So we're looking for beautiful weather here. I don't know how
rain
weather.
all day, but
okay,
it's
perfect,
okay.
perfect. Well, hopefully the rain's going straight down, not side to side. But I think that's definitely going to play a shift. And like I said, we're 1-1 right now, so we're hoping to take that win.
Yeah, it's always a competitive game against them, so I think for anything, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be a fun experience for fans. For people who are new in the area coming to a game, I think it's going to be a great show.
Just speaking of weather, earlier this season, Chris, you described it like building a house in a hurricane with managing the club. But now that you have,
I'm sorry?
but now that you have a few more games under your belt,
She was the hurricane.
Yeah.
Something
I
around
am
over there.
I am the drama. I am the drama.
Hurricane has not gone away.
how's the weather now that you got the
Yeah, listen. In stepping into the job was so much about understanding the team, the culture of the team, the support staff, the league, the competition, and understanding what made the team good in the past maybe wasn't going to necessarily mean what's moving forward. So this was something I had to figure out. I think they all had to figure out this new look team. And as much as we would talk about probably why I'm in this position, shared philosophy with the club and Vlatko, style of play, it just meant that we were never going to make excuses for some of the challenges early on. But it was different because of what the team had relied on in the past. We had to find some different ways of doing things, which I knew would pay dividends at some point. different ways of scoring goals. If Coop is out and Temwa's out and no Bia up there, and what's going to go on if you move on from certain players in the middle of the field. Or a team relied on Claire Hutton next to Lowe a lot last year. So for me, it was just about saying, now, okay, you want to get going, get results. You're implementing certain things. Some things we're starting to do. A lot of things we're continuing to do. And yeah, we went on a 3-game road swing. It was difficult. And as we're now trying to build momentum, as you said earlier, yeah, if the results aren't there, and that's hard because you're trying to build and face some adversity. But we were getting tougher all along, I promise you. So yeah, we think we're in a good spot this year. There's so much to still work on, but yeah, we're building that house. We got a nice foundation up now, and
Might
we're
be a
going to
tornado now, not a hurricane.
keep tweaking things and adding to our structure.
All right, we're gonna take just a second and go to the Zoom. Jeff Kasuf has his hand raised, but you're gonna bear with me from a technology standpoint. Jeff, are you able to ask questions and unmute yourself?
Hope so.
Where's that coming from?
Can you hear me?
Oh.
Okay, great, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. For Lo and Izzy, I'm wondering, you mentioned the Challenge Cup, this obviously being an additional competition to, the regular season. There's talk of an Interleague Cup, and you both had that unique experience, I guess, in San Antonio a couple of years ago with that Summer Cup.
That was fun.
I'm just curious, do you like the idea of additional competitions and games like this being added to the calendar? What's your view on kind of competition beyond the regular season expanding?
One game's always fun, and I think anytime to be able to lift a trophy brings out the competitive nature of all of us, so I'm really excited for it. Again, one game is much more enjoyable sometimes in the short amount of time we get in the summer, so I'm excited to be able to win a trophy.
Yeah, if you take it back to the OG Challenge Cup days where we were constantly just playing the teams within our league again for a third, fourth time, that was not as fun as, say, the Challenge Cup. We got to play teams from Mexico. We've, fortunately, at our stadium, invite teams from Brazil, and we've had a lot of international games there. So I do enjoy that. I love playing competition outside the NWSL, but right now I've never lifted a Challenge Cup trophy cup, so I would really like to do that.
Follow-up for you, Chris. With Ali Sentner's departure, I'm just curious how that maybe changes anything tactically. Who do you expect to kind of fill that role, or those roles, I guess, plural, that maybe she had played in?
Yeah, listen, we were relying on Ali as in that 9 position. Some would say, what is her best position? Because she's so clever up there. She can play as a 9 and think like a 9, but operate underneath like a 10. And even with the national team, they use her in a very similar way. So, trying to fill that void is always, for us, exciting, because we know we lose a really good player there, but now other people who've done a nice job get opportunity. It's always about focusing on what we have. We know that we have different players that can play up there. In a very similar role, Debinya, we know, has played up there and can operate underneath in those spaces. We know that Haley Hopkins is someone that can play anywhere on the front line, no secret there. Gives us a different look as maybe an out-and-out 9. Players like Temwa can play there, and we have other players, Gianna Paul, who you might know. So we have some different options. We like those options, and it's always next person up to fill that void.
I'll go. I'll go up there.
I'll be a 9.
Yeah, I thought you'll
He's
go
like,
for the next
no.
question.
No,
I know
she
what
wants
she
the
meant.
9.
Believe me.
Put her up there.
Believe me, I know.
Low, number 9.
Yes, that's what he said it, right?
Yeah.
She kept waiting for it. Well, LaBonta.
Just in sports, you guys were talking about the momentum, and obviously it did feel like there was a corner that was turned in the last couple of weeks before the big break. Was the break helpful, like more training time, but also kind of stopping that game in, game out momentum, maybe for the players? Was it nice to get the break? Is it a little bit hard to start back up? How did that feel?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I went all over the place. I think it's a really good reset. We definitely have that momentum, but I think with such a long season, you need to have a good break, and we had that, and we had plenty of time to get back and still get a lot of training in, work on some things you don't really get to work on when you're focusing on opponents day in and day out. So I think it was a little bit of both. We had a good break to mentally reset, physically reset, get some people healthy again, but then kind of get to work on some things we don't get to.
And then speaking of the health aspect for you, just Chris, sort of an update
overall the health of the squad is going into the second half of the season?
Yeah, we're as healthy as we've ever been this year, which is a good thing. So the meal room's getting more full, training's getting, more numbers, energy than, comes with that. So we're in a good spot, getting closer. The players do an amazing job, the staff do an amazing job keeping them going. So the break definitely helps, give us a little more time to get some of the ones that are close. But yeah, we're getting closer for sure.
We do have one question in the chat for Coach from Tom Pursley of Shea Butter FC. He asks, the players kind of already answered this, but how excited are you to compete for your first trophy against NWSL competition?
Well, he lifted a Teal Rising Cup.
Right.
You're right, so the second trophy.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
I think from my experiences, I have never taken it lightly to be in this business and to never take for granted to play for something like that. You don't often get to do it mid-season, even early season, where this might have been meant to be. But anytime you can be part of cup finals, those one-off games where there is no tomorrow type of thing, that's nice to have early on. It's a little prelude to what comes ahead. You get a little bit of a test. But there's players that I've played with, there's coaches that I know that will go a whole career and not play in that decisive game. So how excited I am? I'm really excited, but my excitement comes to what's to my right. LaBonta wants to lift that trophy from our fans. It means a lot to our fans, to our ownership group, to all the players. What an experience. So I can tell you one thing. If us three can quickly get into a bottle flipping contest here and see who wins, we're all competitive. We really are. So we love testing ourselves. And the love to win, hate to lose, the reason why we're up here and Gotham is where they are is the competition. So for a cup, for the just to say we did, we love that we're in it and we've earned a spot. They've earned a spot to be in this game. So as Gotham. So I love that I'm part of that.
Awesome. Come back to the room. Go ahead.
Yes, Mariana from Canal Gold from Brazil. You have two Brazilians, the team Lorena and Debinha is one of the most winning in the league. How important is she to you?
Most important.
That says it all. The Brazilians, in general, could you imagine all my experiences with the Brazilian culture and the players on the women's side now and the men's side? They bring such joy and passion to the game, quality and intelligence. However, the two Brazilians that we have are two of the best you can see. And when you ask me about Debinha, you see the reaction from the players. She's a coach's dream. To play alongside her, they see it all the time. But it's I made a reference to her today in the team meeting about her just character, how she shows up every day. It's again, I would say one of her biggest gifts is her football, what's inside of her brain and her heart, but it's her character and how she shows up every day. This is for me not always common in life and in football. Someone like this much quality with this much humility makes her very special. Yeah.
Anyone else? All right. With that, we'll wrap it up. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for being here. This is really cool to see what's going on.
Go Bucks.
Well done. I guess.